Welcome to Daily Bible Devotions. Today we'll continue the question and answer which we started yesterday. Okay, we read 6 questions yesterday and we're going to read 6 more questions today. And let's start with this one. God created everything, right? Then who created him? Was he there? Was God there the whole time? Okay, this is another good philosophical question because if you're thinking about the idea that everything has a beginning, then it's tempting to ask, who created God? Then how did God begin? But God is the creator, not a created being. That's why he is God, because he is the source of everything and he is not created by anything or anyone. So yes, he's been existing the whole time, actually even before time, because God is beyond time. God created time. If you understand this, if you understand that God is beyond time, that he simply created time, it would make sense why God knows the future. Because to him, there is no future. Past, present, and future, to him, is just one look. So, short answer, yes, God created everything, and he is not created by anyone. He's been there. He is eternal. He has no beginning and end, but at the same time, he is the beginning to the end. Next question. Why was the punishment in Noah's Ark a flood? No, because those can harm. This is the follow-up question. Because those can harm not just the people, but animals too. Okay. As to why was the punishment a flood? Now, only God can actually answer that. We just know what happened. Why God did it that way, we can only ask him. But since it was not mentioned in the Bible explicitly why it was a flood, and since I am not God, obviously, I cannot really answer that. We can only speculate, and that's what we can do. We can logically infer the reasons why God allowed that to happen. So your concern here, I see, is the animals and that they were harmed too. You're probably thinking that these animals are innocent. They didn't do anything. But that is why God asked at least a pair of every animal to be gathered in the ark, right? So that the animals can continue to exist even after the flood. 2 things that we have to understand about animals and humans is this. First, humans are more important than animals, always. So, if anything, I believe you should be more concerned about the humans who died in this rather than the animals. Second, God created animals for humans, not humans for animals, not the other way around. Humans, if you read Genesis chapter 1, humans are supposed to take care of animals, right? Like we're supposed to take care of our cell phone, our laptop, but these things, they exist for us. We do not exist for them. So I believe the reason why it's flood, to really answer your question, I believe the reason why it's flood is because water represents cleansing, even now. Okay? In Genesis chapter 6, it says the world has become very evil and it has to be cleansed. And that is why God sent the great flood to cleanse the evil of this world. Next, what does the Bible actually say about homosexuality? Is it true that it's a sin? Now, I'm going to read to you 2 passages wherein homosexuality was mentioned. Now we know that the law is good if one uses it lawfully, understanding this, that the law is not laid down for the just, but for the lawless, for the disobedient, for the ungodly and sinners, for the unholy and profane, for those who strike their fathers and mothers, for murderers, the sexually immoral, men who practice homosexuality, enslavers, liars, perjurers, and whatever else is contrary to sound doctrine, in accordance with the gospel of the glory of the blessed God, with which I have been entrusted. This is from 1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 10. There's another verse. This is from 1 Corinthians chapter 6, 9 to 10. Listen, do you not know that the unrighteous will not inherit the kingdom of God? Do not be deceived. Neither the sexually immoral, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor men who practice homosexuality, nor thieves, nor the greedy, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor swindlers will inherit the kingdom of God. In both verses, it says practicing homosexuality. not homosexuality per se. What's the difference? Think like this. We're all sinners because we've all committed sin. But that doesn't mean that we're sinning all the time. We are tempted to sin, but we don't always give in. So until we give in, that's the time that we have committed a sin. In the same way, someone who identifies as homosexual does not automatically practice homosexuality. Practicing homosexuality is different from homosexuality. Now, there are many other mentions of this in the Bible, which is why you need to read the whole Bible. I hope that answers the question. Next question. What does the Bible actually say about suicide? Is it a sin as well? Okay, mentions of the suicide in the Bible were associated with shady characters. Okay, one, King Saul, who tried to kill King David many times. And then there's Ahithophel. He is a counselor to Absalom, who stole the kingship from King David, another shady character. And then there's Judas, probably the most famous. He betrayed Jesus, right? And then he felt sorry and committed suicide. Okay, the noticeable pattern is that they're all on the other side of God, meaning they're not on God's side. They are on the other side. So if we ask if they committed sin by committing suicide, guess what? They've been sinning against God even before they committed suicide. But if you will just focus on suicide, it's like this. God clearly commands against murder. Thou shalt not murder in Exodus chapter 20. So killing yourself is murder. So it is against God's command. This makes sense when there are two prophets of God, like Elijah and Jonah. They cried out to God in prayer and that they want God to kill them because of their frustration. They were so frustrated, they just want to die. Okay, they could have committed suicide, but instead they asked God, Lord, just kill me. Just kill me. So we can say that they are suicidal. But God did not allow them to die. God sent help to them, actually. God doesn't want it. So following God doesn't guarantee that you won't be frustrated enough that you won't want to commit suicide. But at least you will not take your own life because you acknowledge that only God has authority over your life and that you will know that there is always hope. I hope I have answered that question. Moving on, next. Do people in the Bible know each other? Or do the authors know each other? Okay, it's a beautiful question because if you read the full Bible, it's interesting to see who knows who and who are the ones who don't know each other. Some knows each other, some don't. Quick answer for that. Okay, do the authors know other people are also involved in writing the Bible? I knew this is where the previous question is going. So as we mentioned in our previous series, these human writers did not gather around in a meeting and decided, you know what? Let's write a Bible. Okay, these 40 human writers, they are spread in a span of 1,500 years. So some do know each other, like Moses and Joshua. Okay, when Moses passed the leadership to Joshua, he actually did not say, Joshua, make sure to continue writing the Bible I am writing. Okay, these human writers, they did not conspire to write and then come up with a Bible. These human writers, imagine, they're like students in a classroom, individually taking notes of what the teacher is saying in the class. And then at the end of the school year, their notebooks were gathered, put together as a Bible. Did they know that was going to happen? No. But the great teacher knows exactly what to do with these notes from the first moment that he inspired them to write. I hope you get the idea. That's it for today. We're going to continue answering questions tomorrow.